good, isn't it? It's going really well, this. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Blackfoot Book Club, and another from my essential film reviews collection. Thank you so much for returning. And we're now going to return ourselves to 2017, to the Lynne Ramsay directed You Were Never Really Here. Following the re-release of my original rambling musings on 2011's We Need to Talk About Kevin, I confess to seeing and loving director Lynne Ramsay's fourth cinematic creation on or near its 2017 release date, and I vowed to add my thoughts immediately to my career appreciation blog on the Glasgow-born filmmaker. So nearly 6 years later, here we are, and here are those thoughts on a genre-defying beauty of a film that I re-watched on a cold Friday night into an early Saturday morning, and I'm pleased to report that I still loved it, though not as much as We Need to Talk About Kevin. The ending is still spectacularly satisfying, a rarity for me, and Joaquin Phoenix's performance is still as mesmerising as I remember it to be, which naturally goes without saying. Naturally. Joe, Joaquin Phoenix. Of the 53 acting credits listed against the Puerto Rican-born Oscar winner, 15 of those are attributed to either short films or TV series, Hill Street Blues and Murder, She Wrote amongst them. Of the remaining 38 big screen feature film roles, I've seen 15, from 8mm and Gladiator at the turn of the century, through the 2000s and his collaborations with Lynne Ramsay here, as well as M. Night Shyamalan and Paul Thomas Anderson, and now up to the present day with his brilliantly controversial Oscar tours Arthur Fleck and The Joker in 2019, as well as the underrated joy that is the Mike Mills directed Come On, Come On in 2021. In a film of just 89 minutes and 32 total characters, many of whom are deliberately vague and purely periphery, Phoenix has to carry this film, and he does so magnificently. After a wordless opening of deliberately obscure camera angles and Joe never fully shown, what is portrayed is a scene of murder, bloody violence, a hammer, and a half-shown man meticulously cleaning away the grisly evidence of an unseen killing. Leaving the scene of the crime in what appears to be a hotel, Joe sets off the fire alarm before being seen for the first time in full. Unkempt and bearded, he cuts a physically broken figure, and yet is immediately randomly attacked in an alleyway. Violently headbutting his assailant and breaking his nose, it's quickly apparent that Joe is a gun for hire, and he has nothing left to lose. An abuse survivor and veteran haunted by his experiences of war, Joe is also visited regularly by the nightmares of his life post-war, and his oft refrain of, "What the fuck are we doing here?" juxtaposed with the waking nightmares that drive him regularly to try to end his life. Joe is suicidal, with only a singular care left in a world he wants to permanently leave behind. Thus, he's perfect for his next job. Employing horribly jolting flashbacks amid the equally tension-inducing musical soundtrack of Radiohead's Johnny Greenwood, director Ramsay once again takes us on a difficult-to-watch ride from the narrative build-up to one brutal night in New York and Joe's destruction of a paedophile ring of child traffickers and their self-titled playground, before turning his world upside down despite accomplishing his grisly task, as well as rescuing a politician's daughter. The narrative turns are impressive, the ending rather satisfying, and in between, the Glasgow-born filmmaker never allows you to settle into a film that never deliberately settles and never stops until the very last pleasingly satisfying frame. The violence is grisly, bloody, but often only shown via black and white CCTV cameras or brilliantly a heavily cracked ceiling mirror, but the bloody mindless killing is seen far less than the human destruction of a haunted man trying to escape his past whilst living on the edge of death. Everything from Johnny Greenwood's score to Lynne Ramsay's direction is deliberately jagged, contorted, fragmented, images and sounds clashing together. I never settled. I marvelled at Phoenix's incredible performance. And I'll never listen to I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. By Charlene D'Angelo, The Same, Ever Again. When you've seen the film, perhaps you'll feel the same. Compared to Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, I'd agree, but I'd also lean toward a more contemporary film in the guise of 1994's Leon, starring Jean Reno and Natalie Portman. But more importantly, You Were Never Really Here is a fourth consecutive cinematic gem from director Lynne Ramsay, and I highly recommend it to you. And that was You Were Never Really Here, directed by Lynne Ramsay. And I promised I wouldn't sing that song towards the end there, but you know, I leave you in peace and in solidarity. And I've been to paradise, but I've never been to me. Thanks for watching. Peace, everyone.